Good morning, everybody, and welcome. It's the Front Porch, WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about.
All day long.
I'm your host, Braylon Bryant Banks.
And I'm your host, Kimber White Dupree. Good morning, y'all.
Brother Naira's on the other side of the glass, y'all. Bringing it to you right here on this 10th day of March 2025. Thank you for joining us as we begin today's broadcast from the historic campus of Xavier University from our studios right here at the foot of the overpass on South Norman C. Francis Parkway. So you know we home. www.wbok1230.com is the address if you want to stop on by. Grab yourself a comfortable chair, a mug or tumbler of your favorite frosty or steamy adult beverage. Mind your manners. Say good morning, holler at your people, and kick it with us for the next 3 hours as we continue to examine this world through a 504 focused scope. And of course, the number one top-ranking way we love to hear from each and every one of y'all is the WBOK 1230 AM Talk Line. 504-582-9422 is the number. Give us a call. Let us know what's going on with you. It'd be good to hear from you on this lovely Movie Monday morning. What's up, Kimber?
Hey, Uncle Gray.
How you doing, honey?
I'm great.
You doing great?
I am.
We live?
We are live on Instagram at Grateful with More Work to Do. I gave this up last carnival and stopped doing this then.
Okay.
But we are back. I don't know for how long, but
you picked it up for Lent.
I picked it. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I picked it up for Lent. But also I sat in on the Good Morning Show with the Dr. Ashanta Wyatt.
Oh, you did?
I did. And we had some conversations. And, we're going to resume said conversations for the people who be talking to things. And so, hey, I would like to speak to manager. Oh, he's already commented on Facebook. Listen, you can call today. You have permission. The manager says so. And we on that right and bright and early this morning. So, you asked how I was doing. I'm fine. That was my my grandfather used to say. It was like, how's I'm fine? How you doing? I'm fine.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Lovely, lovely, lovely on a Monday morning. It's always good to be here with y'all, man.
Yeah, it's great.
Get it started. Good morning to the people out there in the Facebook land and the Instagram world since we live on the television. What's happening with y'all?
Ow.
You had a good weekend?
I did. I had a great weekend. I did not go to the parade on yesterday because I still feel like it was sacrilegious.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of cleaning on yesterday. I did a little bit of, and that's weird that I just said that because Wilfred, our dog trainer, just popped in on IG. I trimmed Tremaine a little bit. Tremaine is our doodle who is very disrespectful. And so because I'm sick of him, he is white if you get to his undercoat, but he's beige, like just normally, but he likes to play in the mud. So we've had literally that. So I've had enough of him with that, but I groomed him a bit yesterday, hung out with the kids. They did a little bit of cooking. We actually had a whole lot of conversations on yesterday. Well, it started Saturday night when Imari was on FaceTime with her girlfriends, and it was like, when I do stuff, she's like, oh, God, Mom. And it was like, no, stop hating on your mom. I was like, thanks. I appreciate you. And so then it was like, can we talk to your mom? I was like, of course. I had that kind of mom.
Right.
My mom was can I talk to your mom about this? And my mom was like, of course, you can. Right.
Absolutely.
So I guess that was my first foray into being that mom. And so
that's pretty cool.
It was. Oh my God. Cool. This is my geek out. Cool. Sorry. So stepping into that mom kind of thing, and we having conversations and we're going back and forth. And I was like, so when are y'all's birthdays? And one said, my birthday is this. And I was like, oh, you're a Taurus. Okay.
All right.
Okay. And the other one was like, this is my birthday. And I was like, oh, you're a Scorpio? I was like, Mara, you have your parents as your friend group. Like, how did you manage that?
You like what you like.
And I was like, does she listen to y'all? Because I swear, on this side of the glass, it'd be like, well, I don't know why. And it was like, no, we hold her accountable. I was like, well, then listen.
But that's what she's
I'm
used to.
okay.
It's not surprising that she gravitates to what she's used to, even if they don't want to admit it. Now, when you done pointed it out, now she's going to start finding flaws with it.
And that's fine, but she's a logical child, which I appreciate about this Aquarius kid that I have. You're going to have to give me a reason why. It can be emotions, and emotions are allowed, but you're going to have to justify why you're moving how you're moving. And it's going to be a difficult thing now that it already happened without any prompting, like, oh, I like this friend. Oh, when's your birthday? When's your birthday? You should be her friend. Now you're going to have to really justify why they're not your friend group if you decide to skate them. And I don't think she should.
No, it's not. You like them.
No. Not just for that. If you have a Scorpio friend, I'm a Taurus. If you have a Scorpio friend, with all the things and their idiosyncrasies, you have a friend for life who will keep secrets buried, locked in to their heart and underneath the ocean for you, which I think people should have those safe spaces. And as a Taurus, even if I don't talk to you, whatever you left with me, I'm not going to share with other people because you gave that to me. You didn't give it to the world. Everybody ain't like that. And even with my experiences with other people, and I have commentary about the Leos because I know is there others for you. I know my experience. I know my experiences with that particular group of people. They're safe. She's safe. Now, she has a Leo moon. I have a Leo moon.
Okay.
My mother had a Leo moon. And I sit next to a Leo every day. At Monish, well, we'll get into that later. But Leos, even with the regal and the presentation of the things, there's a certain safety that you have. Because I told you on Friday, it's like, you been early all this time you're not here. Papa Bear here. I'm good. Why? One, obviously you're a male. But two, as Leos, they'll fuss at you and fuss you down, not in front of other people, to make you better, but not to make themselves be elevated. And in the same respect, make sure that you receive that information without crushing you. That right there, I think we could take a break.
It's the Front Porch, y'all. WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about.
All day long.
Stick and stay. Y'all don't go nowhere. We got to pay these bills, but we're going to see you on the other side of the break.
That's right. It's party time each and every Sunday night at 7 p.m. on WBOK. It's the Throwback Throwdown with DJ Wick as he brings you the best in old school from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2Ks. Plus, the party goes to another level at 9 p.m. with the Throwback Throwdown Party Mix to round out the night. It's the Throwback Throwdown Sunday nights at 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 AM and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
Saints of God, it's time for us to tell you the truth. It's time for you to start your 21-day challenge. Don't take another day. Do it right now. Call 504-701-4711. That's the whole water stove, Pastor David Impartian Sr., the host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. This is the water that's designed to change your body, the way you think, the way you act, and the way you look. Why don't you start your 21-day challenge today? For $35, you can start it right now. Call me so we can set up your appointment. 504-701-4711. That's 504-701-4711. Change your water, change your mind.
Welcome to Liberty Bank and Trust, where your financial journey transforms communities. Since 1972, our customized banking solutions power your dreams and fuel your community growth. Every dollar you invest with us circles back to empower more people, ensuring opportunities for generations. Join us at Liberty Bank. Together, we empower possibility. Visit libertybank.net to start banking with purpose. Liberty Bank. There's freedom here.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. You're on the front porch with WBOK 1230 AM.
Welcome back, y'all. Front Porch, WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about.
All day long.
I'm your host, Graylin Bryant Banks.
And I'm your host, Kimber White Dupree. Hey, y'all.
Brother Nyron's on the other side of the glass, y'all. Bringing it to you right here on this Moving Monday. Talking about signs and astrology.
Signs and
whatnot.
stuff.
That
You know?
good stuff. Moxie, how do you figure out the moon? Get your chart done, man. You can go
Get
right
your chart
online,
done,
man.
buy a book.
Yeah,
I
get your
figured out
chart
my
done.
my
You can get them online.
my moon by using a book. I don't remember the book it was
Mm-hmm.
because I lent it, and I know if I ask for it back, it's gonna have pages missing.
Right.
But once I knew, it was fine. And Josh said, Kim, but Dr. Umar is a Leo too, so does that pertain to him? So there are different characteristics that plague all signs. And let's be clear, there's a dark sign or dark side to all signs. Okay. Now, you hear Uncle Graylin say, are there others? Leos are heavy on the attention. But if you know a Leo who has mastered who they are, it's not everybody's attention that they want. It's certain people's attention that will sate them. And y'all don't be knowing that. I know that. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong.
Okay.
But I think I would go to say that just like their dark side, see, the common denominator with astrology is people,
Yes. Humans.
human beings. There is no
Humans.
astrology, so the darkness is in people. Your date of birth really, may or may not play a role in it. But people
Yeah.
have a dark side, and whenever you're born, it could come out. Some people nice their whole life. Some people rotten their whole life. Y'all know them.
Agreed.
Don't act like
Agreed.
been rotten from a little kid.
Yes.
And it's, oh man, this just, and I hate to use bad seed, but that was a good movie.
Some people just terrible.
It's just terrible, man. It's just
Regardless of
terrible.
what's in their
it's nothing personal. I don't think.
Astrological chart. However,
Good family, good upbringing, everything else, some advantages and whatnot, and others that come from nothing that made it to the top. Why?
Yeah.
People.
yes,
People.
correct.
Is how you want to walk the path that you're given, because you're the only one that can.
But I'm glad he mentioned Dr. Umar because this is something I can attribute this Leo to being and acting. Dr. Umar has at least 2 children that I have cared to pay attention to their stories. One is a 22-year-old woman, black woman, snicker, who is aware that she has a sister. And she made a post via TikTok, Instagram, whatever social media platform, to say that she was seeking her sister. And she had posted where she had sent messages to, or at least a message to Umar about her sister. And he didn't respond. He ignored her. So I guess after getting frustrated with him ignoring her, she came out with a video saying, I am trying to get in touch with my sister. If you know that he is your dad, reach out to me so that we can get together, like have a conversation or whatever. And Umar came online and was basically saying, let me get me and you and your mom because I paid this amount in child support and da 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 da. She didn't ask to meet with you. She asked to meet her sister. And the mom of said sister reached out to her, and they, if they haven't met by now, are planning to meet with each other. And you know, with regard to this saying that he is a Leo, some people just like attention to celebrate their victimhood, because in most cases when you hear of Dr. Umar, he is, chest beaten, black African, what does he call himself? Pan-Africanist and all of that other stuff. But then he is a victim when it comes like your mom, I paid child support. That girl didn't ask you to meet you. She asked to meet her sister, because at 22, regardless of whether you paid child support or not, that wasn't in dispute. She asked to meet the sister. And that is the piece where we got to have a conversation. And somebody put in their comment, Taurus 427, me too. 427, me too. Yeah. So, I we're gonna have some additional conversations that may be triggering for men who have not acknowledged like their bad behavior. But I have conversations for women who don't acknowledge their bad behavior. I have bad behavior. I am a daughter of a black man who is a veteran of the Air Force, who worked for the government, and you gotta know that men that I've dated have had a hard time.
Okay.
And you also got to know that my husband ain't no punk. Not by any stretch of you've met him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And where you don't have to beat me over my head for me to go along with you at all, because I don't think you've ever had to for me to stop and listen to what you were saying. Mm-hmm. But you also have to see me as a full person.
Right.
And not discount the fact that I'm a full person. And if you don't, I might let it slide a couple of times, because Gen X, I got to make sure that your intention is not ill. But I told y'all, I'm in my billing era. Some of y'all know better. And I'm checking you on site because you know better. And you've been allowed to do bad behavior and be rewarded and ignored. I'm not doing it anymore. So at the end of it all, while some of his ideas I agree with, some of them I think are bogus. And a broken clock can tell the right time or correct time twice a day. But since you mentioned the issue about, where it comes to Leos, based on your placements and based on what's in your placement, I can't say that you're going to act the same thing. But like you said, all of this is based on human behavior and humans. Humans can be selfish and often are. Humans can be manipulative. A lot of times they are.
That's right.
And all of these different things. Humans can be bullies, right? So you can't attribute a certain behavior to a certain sign, but at the same time, you gotta kind of look at some things. And E. Charles Dawley said, I guess Libras are the worst people on earth. Listen, my daddy was a Libra.
Are the worst
My
people on
my
earth.
daddy was a Libra. He wasn't the worst person on earth, but there's some things that, as much as I love my daddy, I could pick out some bad things. But again, I say about myself, there are some things about me that you can pick out that are not good either. But because
that's the
I'm a
whole
person.
point. Right. I think that has less to do with astrology, honestly, than it has to do with human nature. Us, all us, every hue and tone, and you're still Homo sapien. You still, and that's not a bad thing. So you please just, I said we're
Come on,
all Homo
weirdos.
sapiens.
Don't go there.
And we are capable of the greatest good and some of the darkest things, all encompassed in the same body at the same time. It's not surprising that anybody at any time could do anything. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. And then you start to delve into, well, when were they born? And what is their sign? But first,
You're human.
Human.
You're
You've
human.
been born, you've done something, and you're human. I don't care what your accent is. I don't care where you come. You are capable of
Things.
Unfortunately, atrocities.
I ain't gonna lie though, certain signs have a higher risk of being serial killers than others.
Maybe so, but people, you was a killer when you got here. I'm not gonna say that's because your moon was in whatever. You came here bent. I'm sorry. I think that happens. You came here bent. Human beings. There's a glitch in a lot of people. The sociopath, psychopath. These folks are not new. They walk among you. They're present as regular, everyday, non-threatening individuals and can reasonably be diagnosed as psychopaths. Sorry. They're more, and I think it has less to do with astrology than it does with human nature and the fact that it's a very stressful world, and people try to put on airs and act a certain way, and the stress of trying to be something that you aren't also get it's not a pretty thing, but I think it's a little bit more than the day and time you were born.
I sort of co-sign, but not for real.
Yeah, well, I think you can't. I don't think you can get around it. I understand that what you said, but I don't think you can get around it. Without people, you've got no astrology at all. So
No,
which came
you
first,
cannot.
the chicken or the egg?
Absolutely. No, the people came first.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
the people were here.
Who would I say Libras are
What was
compatible
Cain's
with?
sign?
Geminis.
What was it?
Geminis. They make like they link up like lobsters, just like Leos and Aquarius. They do. Yeah. So find your lobster.
Find
your
somebody
Gemini.
who completes you, man. I don't know if they're gonna be under that. I understand what you said, but don't pass up what could be, because oh no, my astrologist said
Pay attention
that
to behavior.
she could be. But behavior is gonna tell
Pay
you everything
attention
you
to
know.
behaviors.
Not birthday. Behavior. How they treat you, how you treat them. Behavior.
I don't know.
But if
I don't know.
your behavior dictates, if your birthday dictates your behavior, then I'm still gonna watch your behavior and not gonna want to be around you. Whatever your reason for the behavior is, that's your business. I'm not digging the behavior. So whatever you attribute the behavior to, it's because my moon was in Scorpio or the retrograde and Venus and all this stuff. Listen, whatever. Who
So just
shot
a quick
Joan? Who
cheat
killed
sheet.
the Dead Sea? I
Your
gotta go.
sun is your conscious, which is you fully operating, but your moon is your unconscious. But I think you have harnessed your unconscious for real.
Some good people over
I
there.
feel like you have harnessed your unconscious. I've seen at least two representations of you harnessing your unconscious. And you're a bad person if you can actually harness the two. And I also have harnessed my unconscious. So then there's that. Hey,
Yeah.
how y'all doing? Prophet friend.
You don't think they're human beings? Yeah, they're human beings. Josh, they're no different. They're not the first
Oh, they're humans. They're just
megalomaniacs.
terrible humans.
They're the ones that are in our current sphere. That's the only difference. They're not the first megalomaniacs. They're not the first
they're
people who thought that they
horrible
could take
people.
over the world. But yeah, they were human beings. There was another couple of folks from different eras, from different places. King Leopold from Belgium comes immediately to mind in his desecration of the Congo in that area, which is still feeling the effects of it today. So many of them, man. Christopher Columbus brought disease all over the world. He was a fella, another human being that came from a different place. So many others, man. So many others. So no, I would not give them any more or less than now. They've got money, they've got power, and they're bent, but they're not the first ones.
Hey, Mark, that makes sense. Now I will dial things down because y'all never have any ill intent. You just have no watch guards over your mouth. I'm sorry to you.
Who's
Mark.
that?
Mark just said
Sagittarius?
they say anything. They say anything.
I like people saying it.
No,
I
because no, they say anything,
Yeah,
and when they say it,
they say that about me.
no,
Yeah.
no, yours is more aimed. I'm sorry, yours is more aimed. It is not flipping at all. It is definitely targeted. But okay, Mark, I'm sorry for it. Mark, I'm sorry. I really am sorry. So yeah, okay, cool. Yes. Cause really, I was like, what is he doing? What is he saying? I'm sorry, Mark. I'm gonna still say the things. What up? What up, Darius? I see y'all, all the people. Do y'all miss us on IG? Maybe we'll do this. I don't know. Maybe this will be my Lent fast adjustment. I'm not guaranteeing anything beyond this. Like for real. I love y'all though.
But all you got is now.
I have now. Yes.
Yeah.
I've literally
Enjoy
been
this.
off of this since last Mardi Gras. So maybe this might be a thing. Yes.
I wonder who
Yes, Dionne Warwick is still living and
who's running who's got the lock on the psychic thing right now.
nobody, and nobody should because it's not a science. It's weird that
It's
people
a good hustle, though.
it's weird that people want to do that.
Man, Miss Cleo.
No. She went to jail.
Yeah, but because what she
went
did
to
with
jail.
the money, see, that again, got to separate the hustle from the way you execute.
It's weird.
It was a good hustle.
It's weird.
Legal, but when you got the money, what they got Capone for, all the stuff Capone did, what
Tax
they got
evasion.
it for, that's what they come at you with.
Hey,
You
Net.
got to put your money in where
So
it's
my
supposed
sister
to be.
is a Cancer, right? And you can get two different versions of a Cancer. You can get the soft shell Cancer, and it's typically when they're younger, and then you get the hard shell Cancer that will nip you with their pincers. Scorpios, you can get two sides of the Scorpios. You can get the retreating Scorpios and the one that will sting you, and that venom is not nice, right? You can get a whole lot of different versions. There's a dark side to everything. And yes, it is attributed to humans.
There we go.
But I still want to say that there's a lot of different things that are attributed. Like, right, for me, I have constantly said, and you have seen it, I am lazy. I want to chill. I want to not be bothered. But if I get up, I'm going to make it worth the tussle because you could have just left me alone.
Yeah, well, that's understandable.
You
but
could have
that's-
just left me
that's-
alone.
I don't know if that's less Taurus than it is who you were when you got here.
I don't know because certain like Virgos are extremely perfectionist. I have one in my house. I have a lot of them that I love, and they annoy me. I love all that they do, And I appreciate that they do what they do because I don't want to do it. But like, we got to be there at 11:30. It is 8:30. Leave me alone. Like, we ain't got to go right now. What if traffic? No. And if we leave like within a reasonable amount of time and we get there late, guess what? It's not because of lack of preparation. It's because there was another event that happened. Leave me alone. Please leave me alone. No. Yes, listen. My sister said, I'm annoyed by your nephew. Listen, that there are traits that we all have that annoy us. And there's a dark side to all of us because
especially
humans.
when we know. When
Yeah.
they know which buttons to push. That's a human thing.
Capricorns are not nothing but love. Absolutely not. Y'all are opportunistic. And the petty level exceeds my own. I love that though. I do. It's always fun. Because we align that way. Because it's like, oh, I wouldn't have said it, but thank you for doing so. I didn't have to. You did it. Lazy. Organized. Petty. Love it. Gotta love it.
We just watch.
I love all of that.
Watch.
And like at the end of it all, like some people are just not good. Some people, yeah, Virgos are mean as hell. I got a cousin. I love her. Hyper successful, mean as hell. My son, I love him. Sweet as can be, but also still mean as hell. Aquarius people, random. What's their pattern? Random, but still successful. I don't understand how you do it, but you understand how you do it? Okay, fine. But this doesn't work for me relationship-wise. Friendship, sometimes. Love relationship? No, absolutely not. No, y'all are, nope. Weirdos. But go have fun.
And this is more on astrology.
Y'all asked for it, so hey, here we go.
People, that's what y'all love.
Yeah.
Good days and bad days.
And my mother,
feel good,
God rest her soul, was an Aries, which is the opposite of my daddy, a Libra. I love my mama. And I love my favorite cousin, Nicole Kimberly Lewis Jackson, Dr. Nicole Kimberly Lewis Jackson. Any Aries outside of that, it's many of them that I do not mess with at all. At all. Because y'all crazy. Y'all always be like in a fight for no doggone reason. And, you know.
Because they're Aries.
And your mom, too.
Like them. I think it's just because you don't like them as individuals.
No, it's the behaviors. They always want to fight. Name me an Aries who does not want to fight. Give me one. Give me one Aries who don't want to fight.
I don't know.
There's not one. There's not one. And fight for the most ridiculous reasons. Why are you wanting to fight? Baby, all I said is I don't like your outfit. No, your outfit is ugly and you look fat in it. Now I'm going to start insulting you. All I said, you asked me, do you like my? No, I don't like your outfit. I want to fight you. No, your outfit is ugly and you look fat.
Okay.
So now what we going to do?
Well, I think any other person didn't matter what
you wouldn't care.
Was. I wouldn't ask.
There is that.
You're looking for others' approval is, again, a human trait. People want to be approved of. They want to, but if you don't really care.
There's that. Because I wouldn't care.
Yeah, but other people do. And I think that's a thing that goes across the astrological arc. People want to be accepted, some more so than others. People want to be complimented, some more so than others. But it's a people thing. Y'all know it feel good to somebody to tell you, oh, that's nice. Like your hair, like your clothes.
There's that. No, I don't. There's no class, but I've read a lot of books because it was like, why don't I like these people? What's wrong with them?
Vibes,
not me.
Baby. It's the Front Porch, y'all. WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about.
All day long.
Stick and stay. Y'all don't go nowhere. We're going to see you on the other side of the break.
This is your news update for WBOK 1230 AM from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
We're off to a mostly cloudy start, eventually seeing more sunshine throughout the day, becoming mostly sunny with highs in the upper 60s to low 70s. Clear and cool tonight, lows in the 40s and the 50s. A slightly warmer Tuesday and sunny, highs in the mid-70s, upper 70s, and low 80s by mid to late week. From the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Risha.
Attention, WBOK listeners. Are you a fan of the station and want to show your support in style? Well, we've got some exciting news for you. Introducing the official WBOK merchandise, the perfect way to wear your love for the station. Whether you're a longtime listener or a new fan, we've got something for everyone. Head to WBOK1230.com now and grab your WBOK gear before it's gone. When you buy WBOK merch, you're not just getting quality items, you're supporting the station you love.
Hi, this is Cary Grant. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events and sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join us every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Cary Show.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
You're on the Front Porch with WBOK 1230 AM.
Yo, Larry, man, you think you can sing this song today?
I'm kind of hoarse today, man.
You can pull it out. Buddy? What about you, Joe? Nah, man, Melvin? Ah, it's too high for me, man. Well, look. Hey, here, do it. Come on, man. Come on. Hold on. Kick it. Shut-em, 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 way you carry you got a lot of class.
Welcome back, y'all. It's the Front Porch, WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about.
All day long.
I'm your host, Graylin Bryant Banks.
And it's your girl, Kimber White Dupree. Good morning, y'all.
Brother Nyron's on the other side of the glass, bringing it to you right here. Yo, thank you for joining us. We continue this movie Monday Madness. Yes, indeed. It's coming up after the top of the hour. Y'all know how we do. Getting it in, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Interns abound.
Yes, they are. Graduating seniors.
Graduating seniors. We
Let's
got
talk
them for
about
the
it.
last little bit, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Last little bit. Our very determined interns who
Absolutely.
we've been working with here at WBOK, and you know we wish them all the best on the next leg of their journey once they start heading out of here, because it's sure been fun to have them around. Always good to have that young energy.
Absolutely.
And get some love around and get some understanding, different opinion, because I'm always including them and then I talk about them at the same time.
As you should.
That's what I do.
Here's another cancer
Who?
on the line.
Oh, really?
You want the psychic hotline? There you go.
There you go. Let's see what's happening. Good morning, Elwin. What's happening?
Oh, he's
Morning, Kim.
Good
How you doing
morning,
this morning?
Elwin.
How was your weekend?
As well. It was really good. How about yours?
Oh, mine was okay.
All right, now ask Graylin.
And how was yours, Braylon?
It was all right, baby. It was all right.
You was hiding from the devil again?
I'm always hiding from the devil, bro. I'm always, because he always come disguised. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
you got to stay up
well,
on
I
your,
ain't him.
got to be alert, man.
I'm not him.
That's what the devil would say, right?
Yikes.
Hey, that's exactly what the devil would say.
Yikes.
Not me.
The devil went down to Georgia. No, what? Just
Charlie
happened.
Daniels. That's a great song, man.
Just
Right, the
happened.
devil went down to Georgia.
That's a
He
great
was
song.
he was looking for Braylon.
Yeah, he might have been, but he ain't find me though. Look, I'm too old to run and too black to hide. I
Yikes.
stand right here. Here I go.
Mm-hmm.
Here I go.
He's still running. He's still looking for you.
He gonna be looking for me. I'm right here because he know it's hard for me to find you because I done heard all your tricks. I done know what you offer. Me and you we done danced this dance before on more than one occasion, and you know I ain't here for that. I play for the other team.
So do I.
All
I play
right.
for the same team that you're playing.
All right.
That was so broad. There's so many places I can take that. And now I'm taking on my Leo
There you go.
moon of places. Elwin, listen, go to the next topic.
Anyway, how
Yes,
you
sir.
like? How you feel about Derek Carr? Braylon?
The quarterback,
Yeah.
I don't feel about him, honestly.
Not with his hands,
No,
not with his feet.
I don't.
He don't care.
I'm gonna see. You know, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I won't know what's happening until we see him out there, cuz. And
Well,
all
one
the
thing about it-
speculation and rumination and all the stuff that we put into that, until they hit the field, until the team start to do what they got to do, we ain't gonna know, cuz. I really don't have no thoughts about car or bus or train, none of it.
Okay. What about the airplane?
Sometimes I think about the airplane because sometimes I'm on them. But if I'm not on it, I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about it, though.
Ready? Already.
All right. That sounds like a good plan to me.
There's that.
What about the coach?
The new coach?
Yeah.
What about him? He the new
mean,
coach. I don't know.
You think he's gonna bring changes to the offense?
I figure he gonna
Think
bring
he gonna
some
be
changes
calling
because
the
that's why
plays?
they brought him.
Right.
If he come there and do the same thing they've been doing, they ain't gonna be here long. They ain't gonna be here long. Now, will he be effective? That's the question. That's what I'm saying. I won't know till we see him out there, cuz. I don't know the dude, the coach, the quarterback knew, the coach knew. You got to put the whole team together. I'm not expecting a whole lot. It'd be nice to be pleasantly surprised. But in any way you look at this, it's a rebuilding year, bro. Any way you look at it.
Well, I thought last year was a rebuilding year.
Well, it couldn't have been if you got rid of the coach.
There's
This the
that.
coach's first year. How this last year gonna be
somebody had to
rebuilding and this
go.
his first year?
Somebody had to go. I
What?
mean, either he was going to go, or the quarterback was going to go, or both of them was going to go.
Well, and you saw what happened. So right now, with the changes that you made, you got to rebuild the team, and that's what's happening this season coming up. So I don't know, bro. It might be a Cinderella season. Everything might hit together, gel, or it might not.
Okay,
Bingo.
Sound like a winner to me. I hope it's like a Cinderella team.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
what part of Cinderella? When she was at the ball and when she got home?
Yikes.
It's a whole
That's
story.
a different conversation
Before she went to the ball, while she was at the ball, and after she left the ball. And that's
Did she leave her slipper? Did she get another slipper?
Yeah, well, you got a point
Did the
there.
pumpkins,
Yeah, bro.
like, I
Yeah.
knew.
I mean, some teams do it less than a year.
you never know, cuz. That's my whole point. So I don't know. I can't speculate till I see him. I don't know who gonna be doing what, injuries, who signed contracts, who gonna be there, who not gonna be there. We ain't gonna see. Now I know there are people talking about it, and I say, God bless them. I just move on.
Well,
That's
I don't
smart.
think he's going to do the magic in a year. I think we have to wait until his team is fully developed.
How
and
long that's gonna
everybody's
take?
on the right
Like
page.
an embryo?
How long that's gonna take?
I'll say about 3 years.
3 years.
Hmm.
Wow.
Because you gotta get all of the players in place, plus the team, plus the coach got to be on the same page, and the owner got to be with them.
Well, we'll see, cuz. We'll
All
see.
right.
You sound
And
good,
Mr.
bro.
Loomis-
You take care of yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing that.
All right.
I'm doing that. I got to do that if I want to still be here.
Yeah, well, that's a good alternative. The alternative ain't a good one, bro. The alternative ain't a good one. So keep doing what you're doing.
We're not banking on
We
the
gotta
other.
go, boy. It's good talking
Hey,
to
man,
you.
I'm gonna take a guess at the movie.
Take a
One
guess
Flew
at
Over
the movie.
Cuckoo's
Which one you
Nest.
see?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Well,
That's-
that's applicable.
And you was in it with me.
That makes
It's a
sense
great
that you would
movie,
guess
man.
that. Mhm.
That's a great movie. If I was in there, I think I'd be chief.
Mm.
Nah, go run tell that. Later. Bye.
Oh my God.
It's the Front Porch, y'all. WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about.
All day long.
Don't go nowhere, y'all. Stick and stay. We got to take this break, but we're going to see you on the other side of it.
From the campus of Xavier University. WBOK 1230 AM. Go. An Equity Media Station.
This news report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know with BIN News. The D.C. Department of Transportation is starting to remove a Black Lives Matter mural in Northwest Washington, D.C. The process will take 6 to 8 weeks. The Black Lives Matter mural was installed in June 2020 in response to nationwide protests against police brutality following the deaths of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. President Trump warned that tariffs against Mexico and Canada might increase further. In a Fox News interview, he emphasized his commitment to preventing the U.S. from being taken advantage of. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is naming a new leader to ICE. On Sunday, Noem announced she's tapped Todd Lyons, a longtime agency employee, to serve as acting director of ICE. And NASA announced that astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams, stranded on the ISS for nearly 9 months, will return to Earth on March 16th. Their return will be facilitated by SpaceX due to safety concerns with the Boeing Starliner spacecraft. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Attention New Orleans educators. Are you ready to transform literacy education in your school? The 2025 Literacy Leader Cohort is a 2-year program designed to empower middle and high school leaders with cutting-edge science of reading training, coaching support, expert-led workshops, and earn a $3,000 stipend. Apply by March 21st to lead the way in reshaping literacy for our city students. Don't miss this chance to grow and make a lasting impact. Visit newschoolsneworleans.org to apply and learn more.
You're on the Front Porch with WBOK 1230 AM.
Welcome back, y'all. It's the Front Porch, WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about.
All day long.
I'm your host, Graylin Bryant Banks.
And I'm your host, Kimber White Dupree. Hey, y'all.
Brother Nyron on the other side of the glass having a conversation with the tape dispenser. I don't know why, but listen, these things happen. These things happen right here on the Front Porch. Thank y'all for sticking with us as we roll into this second hour of today's episode of the Front Porch, continuing our broadcast from the idyllic campus of Xavier University, from our studios right here at the foot of the overpass on South Norman C. Francis Parkway. www.wbok1230.com is the address in case you want to stop on by. And, of course, we'd love to hear from you. Hit us up on the talk line, 504-582-9422.
Yay.
Talking about air travel. Sean's our friend down under in Australia. So he'd love to fly, but he don't know if he'd get on an airplane. Not at the expense of my life. I hope you understand, my dear friend. I do.
Yeah.
I think there is the only other way to get here from there is by ship. So you're going to take one chance or the other one. You're going to be on a big body of water or in the vastness of airspace. One of the two. But get here, man. We'd love to see you. We leave a light on for you. Jazz Fest coming up pretty soon. So, give yourself a good reason to visit. Or just because it's New Orleans, which is the most favoritist reason to just come visit. Mark, see, I doubt it, Grill, and this will be no Cinderella season. Dude, I know. Come on now. If it is, maybe great. If not, I'll buy a T-shirt.
Oh.
I will. Okay. I'm a fan, but not a,
It matters not.
It does.
It matters not.
I want to see him do, but I just don't think realistically this is going to be the year. I just don't see that happening. We've got...
Boo.
Yeah.
So, do you know who Doechii is?
Doechii?
Yes.
Isn't that a singer?
She's a rapper slash singer. Yes.
Singer.
Are you familiar with her?
Doechii?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, that
yes.
sounds like.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
But not. Don't ask me what she's saying.
She's
or what she do.
She's not into
but
like
yes.
she's not Kendrick Lamar.
And he wasn't. Lamar, I tell you.
Right. And that's fair. That is fair.
But no, yes, I'm familiar with the name. I know what her field of endeavor is. And if I think I've got a mental picture of who she is. Why are we talking about Doechii?
She got the straight men and the tizzy.
She got what?
Straight men and the tizzy.
Okay, if you're in the tizzy, I know you might not be.
Got them
anyway.
Got them in their feelings. And that typically happens just in general. She said that when it comes to dating, straight men are a red flag.
When it comes to dating, straight men are a red flag?
Yes.
Dating?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, what would she want to... But how would their chances be about dating a gay man? I don't. I'm
Now
what?
that's going to the opposite
But no.
side
Straight,
of the
but
coin.
no, because you
There's
said
so
straight.
many variables in between.
What's in the really? I mean, you.
Yes, really.
Yeah, straight. So there's something
She says
else.
that straight men are a
men.
red flag.
Straight men are red
And
flag.
she got straight men in a tizzy about it.
All right, I'm a straight man. I'm not yet in a tizzy.
No,
I don't
you,
feel a tizzy
you
coming.
You
but
are a different kind of human because you've said this.
Yeah, I'm not.
And
part of y'all.
I will confirm and confer. Yes, you are a different kind of human.
But I'm here to interact and entertain and otherwise educate all of us. I learn from you and you learn from me.
Yes,
So
for sure. So I
if she says straight men, then then straight? Okay. And I'm simple, old school. You don't have to.
So let me go back maybe 2 weeks ago when we were having a conversation about people identifying and how they identify and what has been characterized with how they identify. When we talk about violence against women, when we talk about violence against children, when we talk about just violence in general, you don't attribute that to anybody else but straight men.
Okay.
Not saying
Okay.
not saying that women don't perpetuate violence and children also don't commit acts of violence. But when you're talking about in a general conversation, who commits most acts of violence, it is typically straight men, because we completely gloss over and go especially with today's conversations, we go right into, we don't want drag queens, we don't want gays, we don't want non-straight men. But when we look at the atrocities that happen, who commits those acts of violence? It's men.
Right,
Straight
but
men.
It's also those same men who got you concentrating on the whole thing about
Agreed.
gays and because that's not,
which is also an act of violence, which again
but it's also a
solidifies what
smoke
she's
screen.
saying. Straight men are an act of straight men are a red flag.
I okay, in a general sense, I can see why you would say it. I don't see why anybody would be in a tizzy.
Oh no, they've been in a tizzy.
Why?
They've been. She don't want no man. Well, I don't want her neither. I ain't gonna support her. I ain't gonna be.
Who are these people?
Real sassy.
I said, but that's. I don't know if we would ever have been on the same page. If that's your reaction,
would not.
Yeah, but that's one, and that's why I'm here to try to, if folks are not worthy of your energy, why you give it?
No.
If folks
particularly
are not worthy of
black
your energy,
men,
again,
have been in a tizzy. Black heterosexual identifying men.
If you
and let
give
me add this
credence to what Doechii
caveat
says,
to it,
or the or her demographic, and if that's where you're, I don't know if that's what where your milieu is, if that's where your people are, if that's where your village is, then you probably would actually give some credence to what she said. But she's an entertainer, and that's what I'm saying. I don't understand why this is a tizzy among,
because the hit dog is gonna always holler.
But what are you hitting about that men are more violent than women?
I think that it went further into specific men, right? Men over 30 who have not been in long lasting relationships, men over 30 or men over 40 who have not had children. We got some listeners that's over 60, ain't been married, and still, would you say hope springs eternal? And
Hope
still
springs
have
eternal. We talked to the people,
right?
remember,
And
we had
still
people on
have
there.
these.
They got together in their 60s and they had 20 years. You remember we
have,
never
but we've
too late.
also had some people that's 60, still single and still talking about, you gotta watch out for the gold diggers, sir. It's you.
Well, if that's how you live, you gotta watch out for them. If you think you gotta watch out for them,
it's not if you have change to dig.
But if you think you got a lot, and you don't want to share your lot, that's your reality. That's how you see the world and everybody in it, and that's not indicative of everybody. That's you. That's your thing. That's why I'm saying we tend to try to throw a big net, but that's your thing. You're the only person I heard say that, so I'm not going to attribute that to anybody other than the person who made the utterance, and that would be you, sir. That would be you. And it wouldn't be anybody else. It wouldn't be a blanket statement, just like, oh, girl, well, for you, that might be a red flag. But I don't see how you holler if I don't feel hit.
You don't feel hit.
Which
And
is
again, what do you say? You are among mere immortals. You are an immortals. You're among the mere mortals.
Yeah.
That is your ideology. Like, that's your frame of thinking. But all
I'm trying to share that, though.
But they don't. And that's why the outrage is there. We're like, I don't understand what. Well, because they're not you.
And that's why I guess the outrage. What are you outraged about? Because somebody has an opinion? I guess that's what because somebody has an opinion. Because that's what you're outraged about.
It's not just the opinion. It's the opinion that you feel hit by.
It doesn't matter. That's her opinion. And if you feel it, then there must be some truth to it. I'm not saying that there's not. I'm not saying that there's not at all. But you are welcome to have your opinion and to espouse it from whatever platform that you have attained in life. You can say what you want. But if I don't necessarily ascribe to that, okay, I can listen to you and say, yeah, okay, you got a point, Mike. I'm not going to deny that.
So people which goes into many other conversations, people who are busy living their lives don't care. The fact that people who are about their regular lives, they don't care.
Yeah.
But the ones, again,
that do
care,
that don't have a life, why are we paying attention?
Not don't have a life, but are hit. You hit because what are it, convicted by the message or something like that. Like you feel convicted by what was said because
you may be guilty of it. But if you're guilty of it, I'm not. Again, your tizzy is because of your behavior. Your tizzy is not because this is a revelatory statement that just changed your world. That you've had an epiphany because she said you knew if this how you was living before that you weren't doing right because that's why it's so close to the surface. If somebody says something, you automatically buck up. You're carrying that. And if the lady said something that what's the word?
Apply.
Triggered you.
If it don't apply,
then you
let
keep
it fly.
on going. And if you like, because
but if you holler, you was the dog that got hit.
And that's what I'm saying. Don't make it. If you are defending it, or if you are bouncing back because you got hit, bounce back for you. Don't bounce back as a representative, as a representative of men, as a representative. Oh, well, I think all men,
right?
Well, no,
which oftentimes because people, because I can't say this is specific to gender, race, or anything. When people feel like they've been attacked and they can get other people to identify with where they've been attacked, they rally everybody else in, and that is the situation that she has caused.
And so
she hurt my feelings. Did she hurt your feelings too, guys?
So all we
come along with us
because we got our feelings hurt. How old are you? How old are you?
Hit dogs holler.
And they do, but it's only the dogs that got hit and those who sympathize with hit dogs. But that umbrella don't cover everybody.
I saw you got hit and I laughed. Oh, you should be quiet. On this one, you should.
You probably would want to just say, tell me, okay, babe, because I would love to talk to Doechii about, tell me about where you at with that. That's a hell of a statement, and I know the numbers, but what does it mean in your life? I'd want to know why she said it. Mm. Not the fact that it has any truth to it, but why? What was your impetus? What was
her position or point of view? Yes.
That's the story right there. And people, oh, you shouldn't say that, man.
No.
Don't stop people from having an opinion, whether you agree with it or not. That's not the point. You want people to be able to express themselves.
That's how history gets rewritten.
That's because you don't, 504-582-9422. Good morning, Josh. What's happening with you?
What's up with y'all too?
Hey,
It's good,
Josh.
babe. It's good. How you?
I'm good. I want to chime in on that. You reading my mind. To me, I'm like grilling. If it ain't heterosexual men, what is it?
We know he's going back to what the conversation started, straight men. And that's what I'm saying. That I wasn't trying to make a whole thing about that, but in my mind, when you say straight, the only other side was
gay, right?
There are several different spaces between straight and
You
gay.
don't have the chart. I need to see the USDA chart on, the several areas.
There's a letter chart for that.
I don't even got
LGBTQ.
Okay.
Give it to all of us. Now, all of us need it now. Shoot.
Libiquita. There's several different pieces of, you asked for the chart. Libiquita is the chart.
So
do we need
there
to go
could
down
be some
it?
bleed over then, right? Because
Yes.
The idea
So there's
that
many spaces between
where they could still have this behavior.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
She's too young for me.
Okay.
So she was for talking to me. I'm too old for her anyway to have an opinion on this. But if I was in her age bracket, I feel a certain way. Like, what did we do to y'all?
But why would you feel a certain way?
Huh?
Why would you feel a certain way? What
if I was in her age bracket of dating, then she has a big platform. So now it's almost like, okay, does she influence any other women to think like this? Like any male that's heterosexual is a problem. Will she switch somebody else's child
you know who the biggest poster child for women seeing situations that men do as bad?
I have a feeling you'll say a guy.
Is men.
I told you.
It's not other women. It's men. We go, oh.
But there's so many good dudes out there that's doing right more than the bad ones. Like your husband, for example.
Yes.
They're doing right more than the bad ones. So why are we highlighting
Which is why
the
my
bad
husband
ones?
never gets lumped into that group.
But I'm just saying, why are we highlighting the bad ones so much? Why not just highlight the majority, which are good?
Bad cheering get the attention.
Let me
Josh,
ask you
know
this.
that.
Why is it that bad baby mamas get all the bad attention? Because you can't tell me that all moms who are not married are bad mothers or are problematic. So you just asked the question. I'm asking the reverse.
I know, I'm saying that, but in my opinion, I don't look at it like that. So you asking the wrong person. You need to ask the person who does look at it like that. I'm not.
Plenty of them who have platforms who do the same. So now that other women or people are getting platforms to speak on the contrary, they are sharing their point of view.
I just don't like the totality of it. Say some. Please preface that with some, not all, because painting everything with one big broad brush doesn't help.
Yeah.
It doesn't help extinguish that fire either. I'm with you with some folks on this. I like, in Braylon's words, I want Pacifics.
That's why I say I love to talk to Dochi. Tell me what made you say this. I don't want to take this like you're speaking for women about men. That's unfair. That's unfair. I would just want to ask her.
And that's also unfair to say that if you
that disappointed you so badly.
But Josh, listen, that's also just what Grelin said. He would want her point of view. If you said, and this is what I'm challenging, if you were of her age, you would take offense to it. My question is why?
Why not? Because she did not. Once again, she wasn't Pacific with that statement.
But but speaking in generalities, we've talked about straight men behavior, and when we talk about straight men behavior, is not what I said applicable to what people who identify as straight males do.
Some straight male, like you just made that.
But the general population.
No. All of us.
I don't know, Josh.
I refuse to believe that every male is thinking that is that way, is that toxic. I refuse to believe that.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one, Josh. I know because again, at the end of the day, y'all know just like I know being at the bad cheer and get the attention.
Yes,
bad children
yes,
get the
they do.
attention. It's just
But I just want-
Right now, the
they're
bad children
Even
is
when
running
white
the
folks
country.
There you go.
doesn't do it to us, you know, when they brush us out with one big broad brush. We hate it when they do it to us as a group, as a race. We also hate it as also as males. Hey man, don't throw me over in that bunch.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
I feel you. I feel
I'm
you.
not,
Especially
I'm
when you're
not-
doing
I'm not-
everything you're supposed to do.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
not Dr. Umar. I take care of my kids. You know what I'm saying?
And you
So-
would not be lumped into the bunch.
Go
I
ahead,
would
bro.
not
We gotta
allow it
take this break,
to
guys.
happen that way.
Thank you for
If
calling,
no one
cuz.
knows me, if no one knows me, they just say, "Yo, he's one of them too." Get him.
No, I would not throw you under that bus. Matter of fact, I fight people on your
You're not
behalf.
there.
Go ahead, man.
We
We
gotta
gotta
take
go.
this
We
break.
gotta go. Thank you, brother. It's the Front Porch, WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about.
All day long.
Stick and stay. Y'all don't go nowhere. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Trying to grow your business or increase traffic to your location? We can help. WBOK 1230 AM has a number of solutions that will meet your individual needs. Give one of our consultants a call today at 504-582-9420 or email us at info@wbok1230.com. And remember, an investment with WBOK is an investment in our community. Call today.
The National World War II Museum, located in the Warehouse District of New Orleans. The National World War II Museum tells the story of America's experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. Visit them online at www.nationalww2museum.org for time tickets and safety information.
Welcome to The Community Scientist. I'm excited to bring you our quarterly review of the latest research. If you live or work in St. James, St. John's, St. Charles, Ascension, Calcasieu, Baton Rouge, or St. Bernard parishes, it's vital that you have access to clear, objective information about lead, hexavalent chromium, and cadmium, and how these substances impact your health and our natural environment. The Community Scientist is a service program of Rise St. James, supported by our dedicated TCS research team. To learn more, visit risestjames.org.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. You're on the Front Porch with WBOK 1230 AM.
back, y'all. Front Porch, WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about.
All day long.
I'm your host, Graylin Brian Banks.
And I'm your host, Kimber White Dupree. Hey, y'all.
It's Brother Caleb on the other side of the glass, tossing it over to us in turn style.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Of course, Brother Nyron is over there dutifully doing the Overwatch, making sure all is well. Thank y'all for sticking with us as we roll into this movie Monday, getting it together for you. Don't forget, we coming at you. We coming at you. You know.
Oh, boy.
I saw, was that the baton?
Mm-hmm.
When the girl hit her with the baton, I was just...
what's that girl name? Tanya, Tanya Harding? Was that her name?
Tanya Harding.
That was Tanya Harding incident.
Yeah, that was the figure skaters.
Mm-hmm.
Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding.
Yep, that was Tanya Harding. You beat that girl with the baton, just like Tanya Harding beat Nancy Kerrigan with that pipe.
Wow, man.
And the mom was like, you just gotta, there was an accident. No, ma'am. She hit her repeatedly.
Hit her several times.
Yeah, no, ma'am. Go beat your daughter. Go beat your daughter just like that girl beat that other child. No, ma'am.
That was crazy.
No, ma'am.
Man, I did see that. Is that what I have never, and listen, I done been to a bunch of stuff and I done seen fights break out between
Not quite
the
like
band.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
Not quite like that.
I done seen fights and I done seen a lot of stuff. I have never
beat up.
Seen the baton
a pass
in a relay race
because you're running
as a
with
bludgeon.
You're running with someone on your team, so me hurting you is hurting me.
Right.
So the fact that you gave no credence to that, nah.
You just because you blew the team. It's a relay. That's why you got the baton in your hand. You got to pay.
The team has license to beat her up. Mm-hmm. Go get her.
I was like, oh my goodness, what would
go get her?
That's crazy.
Beat her up.
That's crazy.
Beat her up. That was ridiculous. Beat her up. And her mom, like, if that was my kid, after the second lick, because the first lick, you're trying to find her hand, cool. The second lick, is she hitting her? She kept hitting her after that. Yeah, me and the little girl, and I'd have called for her mama and beat the both of them.
Yeah.
On the track. On the track.
That was crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Call the police because I'm about to do this girl something.
Why baby? Come on now. This can't be the first time you lost.
You beat somebody on your team.
This can't be the first time This can't be the first time you lost. What was going on? Lord have mercy.
Beat her up.
You gotta, because you gotta pay for that.
And
I'm sorry.
The team, y'all know y'all don't like that girl already. She got a nasty attitude. Get her. When you talk about hazing, whoop her in the locker room. Whoop her. Not whip her. Whoop her in the locker room. Just, oh, God. Oh, God. And I'm going to talk about this hazing incident, but before we get that, we got a call, 504-582-9422.
Good morning, Herb. What's up with you, man?
Hey, man. How y'all be?
Hey, Herb. What's
up? So far, so good, bro.
Hey, Kimber. Good morning. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Hey, man. I'm trying to hold on to my energy based on the last song that was just played.
All right.
I got to tell you a story, Graylin, okay?
Come on with it.
All right. McMahon High School, 1975, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know this is a different narrative. I know you guys talking about a bunch of different things today.
The Front Porch, baby. What's that?
Always.
So once that song was played, it put me in a location, in a place, in a particular day, on a particular year, at a particular time, okay? So we're at McMahon High School, 1975. We're in band. First year at McMahon as a high school, fall of 74, spring of 75.
Okay.
So we're in band. Mr. Contos is the band director.
I remember Mr. Contos.
So he's trying to teach us all these great classical songs, like My Fair Lady and Ragtime Song and a couple of other songs. He's trying, he's trying to make us real musicians, right? And so we're reading the music, and he's like, no, you're off. No, this is off. That is off. So I think after about 2 months after he meticulously trying to get us to play, classical and good quality music. And I'm not going to say all music's not quality, but you get my drift, right? He's trying to get us to play something that's not on the radio, right? So we go to class one day, and he hands out sheet music. And it's The World is the Ghetto.
It's The World is
right?
the Ghetto. I remember when they played that. That tempo
Dude.
has never been slower.
Dude, we all looked around like, oh my goodness. And he went, okay, instruments up, 1, 2, 3. And dude, we were like in sync, like you never believe in the world.
I remember
we were never in sync with all the music he was trying to teach us. But boy, he went, that's the problem. He went, you guys like to play what you hear, not what you can read.
Yikes.
Oh, I remember the splash that made. Boy, that was, man, y'all heard the band, Mr. Cantos got the band playing The World is the Ghetto.
Exactly.
It
exactly.
was.
When we came out of music class, they went, man, we heard y'all was playing Where the World is a Ghetto in there, man.
That is hilarious.
I had to share that story, man.
Yes, sir. I remember exactly what you're talking about, brother. Yes, indeed. Thank you for that, huh?
All right, y'all be good.
All right, brother.
Have a
Later.
good one.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, my
Mr.
God.
Contos.
That is hilarious.
Mr. Contos.
Now, that sounds like a really, really good launching point as it relates to The World is a Ghetto. But we're going to pause because today is still Movie Monday.
It is that.
And we have a movie clip ready to be played.
And if you'd like to hear it, listen close, because here it go.
Welcome aboard. Here's your wardrobe.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. All right.
I know what that is. I know what that is. But as we talk about The World is a Ghetto, there was a conversation that started on the Good Morning Show that we're going to continue. And I'm going to say by name a particular social media influencer who is hell-bent on being a provocateur versus sharing information that is valid. Reginald Ford, better known as Reggie Art, has posted about demonic practices that happen within the D9. And I want to be very clear that as a member of the D9 who has witnessed by not even social media, by media, that organizations that carry Greek letter names across the spectrum, whether they be Black, a part of the D9, white, whatever combination of Greek letter combinations you want to put together, there are hazing incidents that happen within those organizations. Within the military, it happens. Within band organizations, because if you're familiar with KKSI, you've heard of some instances where hazing has taken place. And so he mentioned something to the effect of demonic practices that happen within Greek letter organizations. Now, of my experience, of my family's participation, I am not a person who protects criminals. The people who participated in Caleb Wilson's death need to serve time, lose their freedom, be held accountable, because as a parent, I know that his father is also a member of that same fraternity, and the frat killed his kid. That is not okay. Not under any circumstances. I have 2 children who may not be considering becoming members of the organizations. I am a member of an organization that my mother belongs to. I'm also a member of an organization that my grandmothers both belong to, which is the Order of Eastern Stars. Not one, but both of my grandmothers belong to that. Not one, but both of my grandfathers were also Masons. In my experience and any other experience, becoming a member of a team, there are some sort of initiation processes, a little annoyances and whatnot. But to which this child lost his life, absolutely not. We are not ever going to be okay with this. And I also want to say this: if you hit me, that's assault, and I have right to whoop your. So I'm not apologizing for what happened to Caleb. the young man who turned himself in not only ruined his life, but he ruined and took away somebody else's life. And anybody who was associated with witnessing it should receive some sort of penalty, period, in this story. But that I know of, and that I've read rituals at least for 2 generations up and the current generation, there's never been demonic practice within these organizations. And for people who are not a part of these organizations, a lot of them have a whole lot of mouth, but you talking outside the club about what happens in the club when you ain't never even been in there. And I'm not withholding information about what I've seen that's held wrong, because of course I was also told, don't let nobody use and abuse you in the name of any organization you're trying to become a part of. And that's the rule of thumb for anything. Hazing happens on football teams. Hazing happens on cheerleading squads. The term crab, I know that everybody, especially Black people, have heard of. Your first year in the band, you are a crab. There are some things that you have to go through, but you're not going to start calling out things because everybody not going to tell the same lie. We keep getting these weird stories by individuals. If that's their experience, I'm not going to say it's not. We also got a lot of attention-seeking people who like to put out, oh, I'm denouncing this, I'm denouncing that. Okay, that's fine. But just like leaving a party, you could do that quietly. Just like leaving a relationship, unless there's abuse happening, you could do that quietly. And if you wait several years to say something about it, I'm not saying you shouldn't tell your story, but I'm also going to question why. So to Reggie and anybody else who's putting out this weird information about witchcraft and demonic practices within organizations that you do not belong to, shut up talking to me and shut up sharing disinformation and flat out lies. And you're welcome to call here at any point, 504-582-9422, because I am a member. I know that there are members who are listening here. And maybe some people have some weird practices, because I do know men and their egos, they don't tell. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to continue to say this. If you don't know what you're talking about, shut up talking about it, unless you do extensive researches versus picking up clips on social media to be a provocateur, which seems to be your thing lately. Knock it off. You got my number. But you got the number here. You are welcome to call here anytime. 504-582-9422.
So the person you're talking about said that there was demonic practices and
demonic worship and practices within fraternities and sororities and secret societies.
Based on what?
Based on some clips from social media, probably a YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or whatever the case is.
And those showed
people saying that they were made to eat different concoctions of food, that they were forced to do different things that they would not have ordinarily subscribed to doing. But I'm also saying there's this thing called dying to belong. Some of the things, like this punching that boy in the chest, whoever did it and whoever watched it, that's criminal. Y'all need to go to jail. Not protecting anybody on that.
Right. No,
but we got to
that's
have some personal responsibility on, like, what is happening here? What is it that I am participating in?
Right. Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Odd. This seems off to me. And if you did it once, why you kept doing it? Because I got questions for y'all. And I'm not victimizing the victim, but I'm also saying for people who are not within the organizations, shut up talking to me and actually talk to some people who have membership. Because again, ain't nobody never put their hands on me. Because if you hit me, friend, we fighting. That's assault. If this look wrong, I'm not doing it. I'm not committing crimes on your behalf just to say I belong. And some of your kids ain't got the Constitution for that. Still, again, whoever committed this crime against this young man and took his life and ruined your own, and anybody who stood around and watched it, you need to go to jail. But if you don't know, shut up talking to me about it and stop sharing misinformation. I said what I said. You got my personal number and you got the number here at the station. And we're going to take this break.
It's the Front Porch, y'all. WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about.
All day long.
See you on the other side of the break, y'all. For the Caleb on the other side of the glass, y'all tossing it over, making it do what it do right here on Moving Monday. We gave y'all a little clip right there before we left. 504-582-9422 if you'd like to venture a guess at what that Moving Monday clip came from. What that boy say when he guessed the movie before we play it? 5 on the black hand side?
What? I don't know.
Elwin.
Elwin said anything. He could
Was
have
it
said
5 on
George
the
is on
black?
my mind. I don't know.
No, it was a movie. It was actually a movie.
Okay.
Can't remember which one it was, though. But it's all right. It was wrong. So it really didn't make that much of a difference. But
So, yeah. Josh said he missed the clip, but he also asked, can Omega Sci-Fi organization get sued for that young man's killing? They will likely be.
Yeah.
They will likely be. The school will likely be, and the graduate advisor will be likely sued, which is transparently, I've been a graduate advisor, and part of the reason I'm not a graduate advisor now because they can come after you individually.
yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, and because you can only be with them to certain degrees if you are a grad advisor that's a working person, a parent, and all those other things. And this was before I had children that I was able to participate as a graduate advisor in that capacity. I didn't have any kids. I don't think I was married yet. Kamara and I were together, but hadn't gotten there yet. And so being an advisor puts your own livelihood and your own personal holdings at risk as well, which is why a lot of people don't want to do it. Because kids, young people, gonna do what kids and young people do. And then Josh made a comment about every chapter needs to stop the shaming of if you crossed over is legit. Beating somebody don't have nothing to do with you being legit. The long and the short of that, it doesn't. But does that stop the what's the military school?
West Point.
West Point. Does that stop West Point from hazing cadets? Does that stop people on football teams in college from being hazed? Does that stop band students who are on college campuses being
Thank you, Mark.
hazed? Like, no. It doesn't stop it. It's a concept or an idea to have a conversation that's far larger than just Greek letter organizations. It is the idea of making people feel or giving the fictional idea of making people feel that they are more important than they actually are by making somebody feel worse. And if you think about that, if you ever been the youngest person on a team that you worked on professionally, you the crab. If you are the youngest person in the family or the person within a family who considers age as wisdom alone, you the crab. Until you get up and cuss somebody out and they back up off of you. Like, there's a conversation to be had about intergenerational respect. And that is the issue amongst all things. And Mark says hazing has always been a part of band culture, but that's not the only thing. When I looked up hazing, I think the earliest recorded incident of hazing happened in 1739 when Benjamin Franklin was still around. Like, what? This is not something that is independent of D9 organizations. This is independent of humans. And we have to have a conversation about why this happens. Dying to belong. If you look that up about how people want to fit in to a certain organization, a group, a team, or whatever the case is, and how they end up injuring themselves, they diet because they want to fit at the top of the pyramid. They starve themselves because the dance company won't accept them. They will consume certain amounts of alcohol until passing out. A lot of white fraternities and sororities definitely do that. And if you look that up, you see a lot of deaths from alcohol poisoning. So yes, not diminishing what happened to Caleb. Whoever participated in it needs to go to jail. Whoever saw something about it and mixed up the stories needs to go to jail. Period. End of story. But don't be out here sharing no weird information. just because you want to get likes and views and clicks. It's weird.
Yes. Condolences to the Caleb's family and other young men, everybody involved, because this is a tragedy that probably, in hindsight, could have been avoided, but that doesn't diminish
The loss of
the
this
loss,
young man's
not
life.
just him, but
And
everybody else
else.
involved. This is not done in a vacuum. There will be ripple effects that will have what I think is probably a detrimental effect on so many lives. And it's to compound it with foolishness. It's just not. It doesn't do any good. It doesn't help, and it in a lot of ways cruel. So my grandmother said, "If you ain't got nothing good to say, you know the rest." Your grandmother probably said it too. It's the Front Porch, y'all. WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about
All day long.
Stick and stay, y'all. See you on the other side of the break. Hey, 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about
All day long.
I'm your host, Graylin Bryant Banks.
And I'm your host, Kimber White Dupree. Hey, y'all.
For the Nirans on the other side of the glass, y'all, bringing it to you. Caleb had to go. Yes, indeed, y'all. Thank you for sticking with us as we roll into this third and final hour of today's episode of the Front Porch, the Moving Monday edition. Thank you for joining us as we continue our broadcast from the historic campus of Xavier University from our studios right here at the foot of the overpass on South Norman C. Francis Parkway. www.wbok1230.com is the address. Love for you to stop on by. Give us a call. 504-582-9422 is the talk line number. Holla at your people. A couple of y'all have said you did not hear the clip on the Movie Monday offing so far this morning. So the generosity of our producers has been tapped, and they're about to let you hear it again. So this is the second time. If you'd like to hear it, listen close, because here it go.
Jeff, my friends call me Jeff.
Jeff? Well, Jeff, welcome aboard. Here's your wardrobe.
All right. All right. Awesome. Awesome. All right.
Awesome.
That is. I hate that for him.
504-582-9422.
I hate that for him.
Josh say my two older brothers haze me. He gonna sue them for certain.
Well, and you might be entitled to.
You might get you a couple of dollars. Doubt it seriously though.
Right. If you take him through that, you might be up for another.
Hey man. All money ain't good money, baby.
Listen, it may not be that.
All money ain't good money.
I found a fresh vegan, but they do meat doo-doo. They do incorporate meat in their food called Saved by the Juice. And it's black owned.
Saved by the Juice?
Yes.
Where is that?
It's on Cable Drive.
West Bank.
Yes.
Okay.
On my way to my baby's 3518 Cable Drive, New Orleans.
Okay.
And I think that's what I'm going to have for lunch today. I had a salad from them because I was trying to not eat fast food. And there's not too many fast food places that I really eat because they don't really sell food.
Right.
And they don't, their grocery store that I would shop at is far out from where my route of going, and I stumbled upon them, and look at this salad.
It's a good looking salad.
Isn't it though?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So I'm going to get that for sure.
Excellent.
Good
lunch choice. And since we're talking about good lunch choices, and y'all listening out there, let me tell you something. WBOK needs y'all.
Yes.
All right. WBOK needs y'all to handle your business when it comes to the reciprocity that is necessary for all of us to survive, for all of us to thrive. We do what we do, and y'all know what we do. We've been doing it quite some time in just this manner. But we can't continue to do this without some help from you all, and I'm talking specifically to business owners, and more specifically to black business owners. I don't care what kind of business you got. You've been around for a while. We've been around 70 years. Through civil rights, the whole nine. We got a symbiotic relationship.
Canceling of contracts to black media outlets.
Everything. We still here, and we still do what we continue to do, but we need your help. You got a business, then you need to advertise. And you need to advertise with WBOK. That's ain't no vacillating about that. You are looking at the same demographic that we appeal to. And I don't care what you do. The people who come here because we've got reach and folks listen to us. And we need your help at this station. So whatever your business is, I know you got a advertising line item in your budget, and if you don't, you need to. And there is no less expensive rate anywhere in the city when it comes to radio advertising than right here at WBOK. And the reach is just what you know. So do better, y'all, for real. We it's not a question of if we need your help. Yes, we need your help, and we don't need your help then. We need your help now, right now. So if you've got WBOK on and you're in your business and you're prepping for lunch, or you're in your business and you got a lunch rush going, or you on your food truck, or whatever it is that you're doing, and you listen to WBOK, come on here, give us a call the sales department, and hook something up, man. It's necessary for us to continue to do what we do for the betterment of our community, that you do what you need to do for the betterment of our community as well. Again, symbiotic relationship, we need you.
In addition to that, we often celebrate people within our community who are black owned but spend white. Start turning your eye to that and call them to the carpet. Where are you advertising? Who are you spending your money with? And you could be actually reaching more of your own if you spent money with your own. So, a lot of people, attorneys, send their kids to white Catholic schools. If they got that kind of money, they can afford to advertise here and get the reach because everybody didn't even know that you're there. And you might even get a positive spin on your organization if people don't that look like you won't spend with you. If they see where you spend your money, they might. There's that.
Yeah. Listen, it's necessary. And it is don't get no clearer than that. Right? For us to continue to do what we need to do, which I think you guys appreciate, we need you. And it's just as simple as that. We can't do it in a vacuum, and I don't think you all can continue to do what you need to do without us. We need to help each other.
But also, if you work for them other people and they ask you where your attention goes, tell them where to spend their money there too. If you have somebody's ear for that, because that's another thing too. Sometimes they don't know where to put their money. You can tell them.
Yeah, if you've got that kind of influence, you got that ability to ask, and I'm not saying it can happen, but if you've got the ability to inquire as to whether or not any of this company's advertising dollars are being targeted with WBOK, right? Because if you target your money with WBOK, you know who we target, right? So it's not a question of where your money. We ain't trying to hide nothing. We pro-black and been that way 70 years, right? And if you black and doing something, trust me, we need each other, man. We need each other. And I say that very clearly, very succinctly, that if you are doing business and you think you will, well, you know that you could benefit from advertising,
for sure.
Then come and call, stop by, talk to the folks in here in the sales department. Come holler at Dom and just see what's happening, man.
And Zoe and Justin.
And come get you some, man.
There you go.
It's necessary. Good morning, brother Larry. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Grillin?
So
how
far,
you
so
been, my
good.
brother?
I'm
Hey,
well.
Kimber.
Hey, Mr. Larry.
For daughter. How your guys been?
Doing very well.
Doing good.
And yourself?
I've been pretty nice, man. The subject that you guys were talking about earlier was about hazing.
Yes, sir.
And I talked to Kimber a few times about sororities and fraternities and what I thought about them.
Yes, sir.
I told you I read this book called Our Kind of People.
Yes.
By this guy named Lawrence Graham. He was he graduated from Harvard in law. But he belonged to a black fraternity.
Uh-huh.
So he gave all the ins and outs of what fraternity and sororities was about. A good book. I got this book. I have a niece that's a high school. Well, she's an educator, administrative educator in New Jersey.
Okay.
And her husband works for a television station that goes around the country, and they set up things where they want to go if they're going to do a newscasting thing. So he sent me this book. He lived in Guyana, South America, not Africa. So he didn't know about this kind of stuff. So he sent me the book. He called me Uncle Larry because he's married to my niece. He said, I want you to read this book, because he was astounded that the book, that black people was that way. And he was really stuck on that in the 60s, before Kimber might have been born, that you have to have your photograph of what you look like, Kimber. So if your hue was somewhat dark, you couldn't get in. Now, Spike Lee did a thing on school days. Did you ever see it, Kimber?
Yes, sir. I'm very familiar.
And that hit on the topic. Look, the low light-skinned girls had a sorority. The dark-skinned girls had a sorority. And they were always beefing about color. So, those kind of things. And then, the fraternities had hazing, Kimber. They hazed each other.
All organizations, the sororities too.
That's true. I'm trying to ask you, Kimber, because you belong to an organization.
Yes, sir.
What separates? I'm asking Grayling this. You ever belong to a fraternity, Grayling?
No, sir.
Neither have I. And I went to college, and my son and my daughter. And I'm trying to think, what separates us from the people who join sororities or fraternities? Why? Because here's my thing, Kimber.
Yes, sir.
You know I come from Treme and the Ninth Ward.
Yes, sir.
So I'm trying to think this brother, his last name is mine, Wilson. Did he understand that you're going to get hazing and the prerequisite for hazing is punching you in your chest? Do you think he understood this before he joined?
I think that he understood that some hazing would be a part of it. I don't know that he knew to this degree, but I will say among the men, there seems to be more physical, I guess, pieces of that. But that is not all that hazing is about. Hazing comes in many different forms. And I know, with us talking about our kinds of people, there are things that plague our community just in general that filter into hazing, because like colorism plagues organizations. Matter of fact, you ever heard of the Vikings and the Bunch?
Yeah, I heard of the Bunch.
Okay,
so Mardi Gras, they have clubs.
Right. So when we're gonna talk about all the things that plague black people, we can't just leave it at D9 organizations. There are things within our community that we have yet to address. Colorism, classism. Those two things within our community are an issue. The better than based on education, we haven't addressed that. Because I said earlier, I've been talking about this for a while. We can't settle on being under the one umbrella of being black. We need designations of being black. I'm this kind of black. I'm that kind of black. What kind of levels of black are there? If your designation at one point it used to be Negro, at one point it used to be colored, right now it's African American. Based on those designations that are on your birth certificate, why are we making segmentations based on other things? Why are we making segmentation based on other things? Now, if you decide you don't want to be a part of that, cool. I get it. But saying it's bad because you're on a part of it is weird. I don't play football. I don't play basketball. I'm not a part of the NBA or the NFL. Why? I'm a girl. They don't let us play.
It's I thought about it, and my son graduated from ULL. He's a data scientist. In fact, when he got his degree, the day he got his degree, he got a job at Xavier. It's a techie.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a smart brother, conscious brother. But when we was leaving the auditorium after he got his degree, they had a brothers, I don't know what fraternity they belonged to, but they were outside singing and dancing. And my son passed by them without even looking, and I was shocked at it. I said, bro, I thought he might just acknowledge them, but he didn't even do that. And I said, boy, you would be such a great person to have been a part of these brothers, because ULL is all white.
Yeah.
So, I wonder, and I thought, Kimber, that I had an effect on why. But I gave him the book, and I told him how some fraternities and sororities was. Not all. But I think what really got to him If a dude punch me in my chest, Kimber, I'm going to punch you back.
And you should. Because nothing about being a part of any organization, any church, any football team, any band, nothing, cheerleading squad, any of those things. A part of the military. If you hit me, that's assault. That gives me license to whoop your behind.
Can I ask you a question,
Yes,
Kimber?
sir.
These Greek organizations, was it mimicking, emulating the white culture of fraternities and sororities?
I can't say yes or no, but I will say it's definitely a vestige of slavery because in our community, the best way to get somebody to take heed to what you're saying is to hit them.
Well, being a part of those organizations, the Greeks they were talking about at that time, were they white?
No, white people tend to do more heinous things, like
I'm saying, the
impaling people
that
with
they were
stuff,
emulating.
having them run into stuff.
Yeah,
But
they were Greeks, though, right?
that's some of them. That's not just. It's not just Greeks. I want to be clear about that. It's not just Greeks.
I kind of know that, I think, but the white Greeks, the black Greeks emulated them. Am I correct? I think.
They took on more things of that had been done to them, like whipping, paddling came straight from slavery.
I hear you, darling.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like refusing people food and water, that's a punishment from slavery. So they basically repeated the stuff that had been done to them, not so much that they were copying what other organizations did because of the hue of their skin. There are other organizations that have done way more heinous things to their own that we haven't quite gotten to. Like I'm not gonna say it hasn't happened, but we haven't pretty much forced people to drink until they black out. We haven't made people run into stuff and impale themselves. They do all kind of stuff. It's just it's a human bad behavior that has to be addressed. It does need to be called to light and not paid off by money and people get sated. We need to address why. Why are we doing this? What is the reason for it? And also, what's the reason that's allowing your kids or your adult people to go along with it? Because there's also been people who have gone through graduate have gone through that, and you're like, well, you a grown up. Why are you doing this? This is weird. You should know better. It's a personality human thing that has to be addressed.
I believe you with this. I have a friend of mine. She graduated from Xavier. Her mother was president of the Deltas, and she tried to get her to join the Deltas. She wouldn't, because she was a free spirit. She didn't get along. Boy, she told me she hated the Deltas, and her mother was one of the presidents. In fact, she was a queen of Suno in the 50s. I mean Southern in Baton Rouge, and her daddy was a captain of the football team of Southern. Mm-hmm. But she didn't believe in that. And one more question before I leave: what's the population of Southern
in terms of color?
The number of people go there.
Oh, the number is diminished. I don't know what the number is right now, 10. But it's diminished right now. And when you have Greek letter organizations on a HBCU campus, that drops your enrollment because a lot of people go because of the organizations.
Well, you think that most of the children don't join sororities fraternities?
No, I think a lot of people join it. Have you ever seen a line at a HBCU? You talking about 80 plus.
Is that most of the kids that go there?
On an HBCU campus?
I'm a number man, Kimber. I like to know the numbers. What percent of Southern belongs to a sorority?
I'm gonna have to look that up. But it's probably gonna be the same thing of who was a part of the football team, who was on the dance team, who was on those numbers are kind of gonna skew that way. Everybody can't do everything.
So overall, that'd be about 20% of the population.
Maybe so.
Think?
Yeah, over the course of 4 years, probably so. 20.
About...
I would say 20 to 30, because they take in hundreds plus people per line.
You know what I want you to do for me, sweetheart?
Yes, sir.
Find out those statistics, because that's important to me to know.
I will look into that for you.
All right, Graylin.
All right, brother Larry.
You take care of Kimber because she's so sweet. Leave her alone.
I ain't doing nothing. I'm just listening,
I'm
man.
gone. I'm gone now. Hey, Graylin, I'm gone, bro. I'm leaving.
Later, man.
All right.
You just be in trouble by default.
It's the Front Porch, y'all. WBOK 1230.
He don't be doing me nothing
what
in
New
here.
Orleans is talking about?
All day long.
Except letting you talk, man.
I mean, that's it.
See y'all on the other side of the break.
Norman Robinson is back.
Can you hear me now?
And he's taking no prisoners.
Can you hear me now?
Each weekday, Norman Robinson brings you commentary with Off the Top.
The incident was shocking, disturbing, disgusting, disappointing, and sad.
Each weekday, Off the Top with Norman Robinson is heard exclusively right here.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
Join Elvin Ailey American Dance Theater for thrilling premieres, the beloved classic Revelations, and more. America's most popular modern dance company will rock your soul and renew your spirit with show-stopping performances sure to captivate longtime fans and first-timers alike. Coming to the Mahalia Jackson Theater in New Orleans on March 21st and 22nd. For tickets, call New Orleans Ballet Association at 504-522-0996 or visit novadance.com.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. You're on the Front Porch with WBOK 1230 AM.
Insight, foresight, more sight. The clock on the wall reads midnight.
Welcome back, y'all. The Front Porch, WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about.
All day long.
I'm your host, Graylin Brian Banks.
And I'm your host, Kimber White Dupree. Hey, y'all.
Brother Nyron's on the other side of the glass, y'all. Bringing it to you right here on this Moving Monday, of which we've played a clue twice and not gotten a call, about an answer. But it's all right, because we're having a great conversation. And we're going to keep it moving until somebody decides to hit us up at 504-582-9422 with a guest at the Moving Monday. But in the meantime, we're going to go straight to Pop Jones. What's up, Pop Jones?
Hey, thank you very much, Kim and Graylin.
Hey,
yes,
Pop
sir.
Jones.
My call.
Now, did you get permission from Dr. Wyatt before you called
Pop,
his?
you don't need. I already told him, Pop.
Oh, wait a minute,
No,
man.
sir. You belongs to the airways,
No. Black
Y'all
women, we respect each other. I ain't doing
y'all,
it.
See, Pop,
y'all wrong for that.
Pop, I told him you don't belong to none of them, Pop. I had your call, Pop.
Lord,
I had your call. I had your back, bro. You're trying to cause trouble.
Look, I needed to hear some of that when I was young. But I'm old now.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you very much anyway.
Yes, indeed, Pop.
Old people need to have a little fun sometimes.
You better.
Yes, indeed. I can do more than listen to my music, you know.
Yes, sir, you can. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, look, Graylin.
Yes, sir.
I could remember back in the past when John and Paul, we used to go to different affairs and support them, you know, that it was, you know, I don't know if it was advertisement, you know, for the station or what. Well, we supported that. With Leroy Douglas, the late Leroy Douglas was on, we used to support him from time to time.
Yes, sir.
And I was thinking, and I think y'all have already addressed that. I'm not sure. I think if I remember, we have a lot of callers from all over the country.
And we do.
So what about if they would contribute a few dollars, maybe every month or something like that?
That's
would that
not
be
bad.
a blessing to the station?
That's not bad, Pop, but I think what the focus is the folks who are actually in business. The folks who we love our listeners. We love our listeners and we appreciate them. But this thing has to be
But you focus more on that.
Because it has to be, Pop.
It has to
be
because that's where the money is.
And they understand that, and we're
you
appealing to them because we need them like they need us. And it's a very simple.
Well, that's a blessing to them.
It is.
Because all the listeners that you have all over the country.
That's right.
For an AM station.
That's right.
And you got all these listeners. They easily, even if they're in another city or another state, they could easily advertise.
And the ones that are right here, in the city, that's been here in the city, that know us, that might have us on, but the one thing we don't get is that advertising dollar, and that's the thing that we need.
That's what you need,
we need that.
That adds up. That's more than just okay.
Yes, sir. And I don't want to put that onus on our listeners. You guys do your part by tuning in.
Right.
That's your part.
Yeah,
but we are asking the other folks, the business people, attorneys, CPAs, whatever you do, if you've got a business, show some love to WBOK. If you're an attorney, you know y'all do. You see the commercials for everybody else. You could do commercials. We got a whole department here that can put it together, script it, voice it, and put it out up there. All we need you to do, bring the checkbook.
And not just on the airwaves. We also have a platform. We have several different platforms that we use. And in addition to that, not just to say that we don't have to tax our listeners with it, but listeners, if you're spending your money with our people and they're looking like their lines are a little short versus being outside the door, ask them who they advertise with.
Who they
throw
advertise
them
with.
this way.
There you go.
Well, great. And I don't want to start nothing. I don't want to get in trouble. But I notice a whole lot of people come on there with their different products.
Yeah, they do.
So, and they get that for free, different performers and all that kind of stuff.
We do it,
Pop. get that exposure through y'all for free. Am I correct?
Yes, and we do that because that's what we think our part of this relationship is, to expose our listeners to people who are trying to do the right thing in our community and sell good food, good products, good whatever. And we don't mind doing that. We really don't.
I know. I listen every day.
Yes, sir. But we would like a little reciprocity.
Yeah.
We
All
would
right,
like
now,
a little
that
reciprocity.
sounds wonderful to me.
I don't think we're asking for too much. A fair exchange ain't no robbery.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? It's just not. And folks know that we are potent. They know that we are viable, and they know that we are listened to on so many different platforms and in so many different offices. Trust me, we are being listened to. So I don't know if that might scare some people who don't want to be associated with black folks.
And then that's a conversation to be had as well.
That's another conversation. If you are a business person and you see and like and respect what we've been doing here at WBOK for 70 years and trying to continue it in the future, then do yourself, ourself, and our community a solid and call over here to the sales department and put in a couple of ads, man. You're not going to beat the price, and it's needed. It's necessary.
Yeah, you've explained it to me, but another visit, but you mostly need local people to do this.
We need everybody because our listening is not just local. Right. It is nation and worldwide. Then we have some people call in from what was it, Iceland?
Because I hear callers from Chicago, Georgia.
Sir. Yes, sir.
All over, I say, for an AM station, man.
Because we all around the world. We got www.wbok1230.com. We are known. And listen, we preaching to the choir because the people who are listening listen for that.
Yes.
They're listening to our voices right now, Pop, so they know that they are all fan. I'm just saying that now is the time to understand that in your fandom, which is appreciated, we need your business acumen because the bread's got to be buttered if you want toast.
Absolutely.
You feel me?
And can I end with this, Graylin? You got so many of the enemy would prefer that y'all don't be on the air.
Come on now.
All right now.
And by the same token, some of the enemies, they're getting exactly what they need because we can't get no help from our allies.
Hallelujah. All right now.
We need allies.
All right, brothers
Thank
and
you
sisters.
for that. All right, Pop.
Come forward.
Yes,
come
sir.
Forward.
Come
Bring
forward.
the money.
Look, is there
Bring the
one?
advertisement.
Is there one?
Show me the money. Show me the money.
Pop John. Look, and I'm not getting paid either.
Now, we know you're not, Pop. We barely getting paid
All
ourselves,
right,
man. So don't
All
even
right
sweat.
now. I want to see some results.
Yes,
What
sir.
I'm saying.
Well, trust me, we gonna keep talking about it till we get some results, Pop. Trust me.
All
when I
right
tell
now.
you. Thank you, sir.
Y'all have a blessed one.
You do too. Take care. 504-582-9422. Hey, Pam, what's happening?
Good morning, Front Porch family.
Good morning, love. How are you?
I'm good. I wanted to welcome you back, Graylin. Missed you and everything, and loved everything that we always in control of. Kimba.
Yes, ma'am.
Nyron, all the rest of you. Thank you guys for being the people that you are.
Thank
you. I just would like to say Psalms 100. Make a joyful noise unto God, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. And I said that I know I'm not on where you guys are at right now.
That's
but,
all right.
I need... Okay.
Take your time.
I need some prayers up from my older sister.
What's her name?
Cynthia. And please, I just need that. I didn't mean to come in here like that.
That's all right, Pam.
When I asked for prayer, I just asked for prayer. And I know I can come to y'all for prayer.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
You got it. We will lift Cynthia up in prayer, darling. We certainly will.
I'm hurting right now because things aren't good right now, but God's got us.
Amen. Amen.
God's got us, and I have to always be appreciative of what God's doing.
That's right.
Is.
That's right.
And so, listening audience, my sister Cynthia, please pray for her. And thank you guys for letting me come on the show.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank you.
Keep your head up, daughter.
I love
Keep
you
your
guys.
faith. Love you right back. Yes, indeed. We're going to lift Cynthia up, y'all. We always ask if you got a few extra prayers, some good vibes, some good thoughts out there, please lift Pam's sister, Cynthia, up.
And the family.
And the family. Prayers for healing and peace and
comfort.
strength.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
right. 504-582-9422. Dr. Sanyika, how are you, sir?
Well, good morning. I've been listening to this very, very eclectic conversation you've all been having this morning.
It's the porch.
That's right.
Yes, and certainly whatever that sister is going through, we wish the very, very best for her. These are trying times for all of us.
Amen.
And we all need meditation. We need reflection. And for those who do prayer, we need that too. But for those who don't do prayer, they can certainly do best wishes.
That's right.
And send the vibration of hope to those who need hope, because that is what keeps us all alive. Is hope felt in the days when hope unborn had died, if you remember, from Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, there's 1,000 things that I could comment about, but I want to comment just a little bit about the part of the conversation that Kimber has been having about hazing fraternities and sororities, because I'm a member of a fraternity and have been so for 65 years now.
Woo!
And have seen the comings and the goings of the transitions that we've gone through about this issue of hazing, which is illegal in all of the African American Greek letter organizations and sororities. I can't speak for European organizations because I'm not European and I'm not a part of them. But I do understand that black Greek letter organizations have outlawed hazing in all of its varieties, in all of its forms. But that doesn't mean that all of its members acknowledge the law. If they get caught breaking the law, the punishments are severe, but they don't always get caught. And sometimes they do things, some of the groups do things that are illegal, knowing they are illegal, but that's a part of their culture for some of them, is to put the maximum amount of pressure on an individual to supposedly test their desire to be a part of that organization. That's the philosophy of some groups. It was when I was an undergraduate, and it still is. You don't see this as much in the graduate chapters, by the way. You can be clear that this tends to be undergraduates who are less mature and who are less clear about the very nature of the fraternal organization or the sorority itself. I was very disturbed when I heard about this recent passing away of a young man in one of the fraternities that has sometimes has a reputation for those sorts of things, but it has happened in other organizations that don't have a reputation. You know, I know that the medical condition of people who pledge is something that needs to be understood very well, because there's only so much stress that a person who has medical problems can withstand without responding, and that's one of the things that leads to the kinds of responses that we may be seeing, even though they may not be intended. But that's the reality of what happens. But the real point that I want to make is that despite the error of their ways with reference to hazing and those who still haze, overall, on balance, African American Greek letter organizations have made an enormously positive contribution to the good of our people and the good of our community in voter registration, in voter mobilization, in educational excellence, and economic development, the raising of scholarship monies, mentoring. Black Greek letter organizations do very, very good things for the good of our community that sometimes don't go as recognized as they should.
Yes, sir.
We do make a difference, and we do contribute positive things in our community that would not be done had we not been doing those. And I might add that there's a connection between Greek letter organizations and faith-based organizations, too. Most Greek letter organizations are strongly faith-oriented and they actively support faith-based organizations in every city and town in this whole country. You will find Black Greek letter organizations with strong memberships in Black faith-based organizations. And I think that that's something that doesn't get recognized too often, but I want to point it out that despite some of our weaknesses and limitations, we make positive contributions for our people. And I think that we need to try to emphasize the positive things we do and try to criticize appropriately the negative things that do happen from time to time. And things will happen despite the official position of the organization. But I just wanted to be clear that Black Greek letter organizations have condemned hazing, do not support hazing, and legally are against hazing. Yet there are individuals, especially among undergraduates, who may illegally engage in hazing activities. When they get caught, they are punished because it is against the law. It's not just against what fraternities may do and sororities, but it is against the law. So I just want to make it clear in very unambiguous terms that hazing is not something that is supported by Black Greek letter organizations, and the good that they do for our communities is very helpful, and you can see the difference when you look at the scholarship results and you look at the performance of the students and you look at what happens after graduate school for the undergraduates especially. You see the pathway to excellence among Black Greek letter organizations, the pathway to service, the pathway to leadership, the pathway to trying to be a difference maker for our people, and that is the good that we do. But we condemn the bad, and we have every right for everybody in our community to condemn the things that are not appropriate. Hazing is one of those things. We should all condemn it, period, absolute, unequivocally, on no uncertain terms. So I just want to say that as one who's been in the fraternity for 65 years, and certainly my fraternity takes that position very aggressively and believes that we should all be in the same place, and I think that we all are in the same place. And I am very thankful that we have had fraternities and sororities because of the contribution that they have made to our overall life. And all of the major leadership that you find in our community, all the major leadership tends to have some affiliation in some way to a fraternity or sorority in their lives. But they are real good people who don't join them for very good reasons. And I don't blame those who choose not to, but I believe that people who do choose are better women and better men, because brotherhood and sisterhood are also integral parts of what fraternities and sororities do. So I give thanks to the Most High and hope that we continue to do the positive things and minimize the negative things and condemn them. So thank you all for having the conversation.
As always, Dr. Sanyiga, thank you so much, man. We appreciate your call. Take care.
Thank you all very much and have a good day.
You do too. All right, Doc. It's the Front Porch, y'all. WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about.
All day long.
Don't go nowhere, y'all. Stick and stay. We're going to see you on the other side of the break.
This is your news update for WBOK 1230 AM from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
We're off to a mostly cloudy start, eventually seeing more sunshine throughout the day, becoming mostly sunny with highs in the upper 60s to low 70s. Clear and cool tonight, lows in the 40s and the 50s. A slightly warmer Tuesday and sunny, highs in the mid-70s, upper 70s, and low 80s by mid to late week. From the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Reshaw.
Hey, everybody, it's Graylin Bryant Banks.
And Kimber White Dupree.
From the Front Porch, y'all. You know how we do. Every Monday, it's Moving Monday.
And Tuesday, it's Trivia Tuesday.
And y'all know we have nothing but bad cheering coming through here on Wednesday.
But stick with us. On Thursday, we travel.
That's right. And Friday's Free Your Mind Friday, so get your brass up.
Something on your mind? Want to get it off your chest?
Holla at your people. WBOK 1230 AM, the station you listen to.
All day long. Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
Talk That NOLA Education is all about awareness. Join Dr. Jaquil Ross from New Schools for New Orleans to learn how local programs related to education are feeling the impact of federal grants being terminated. Tune in for Talk That this Monday at 12:30 p.m. on 12:30 a.m.
You're on the Front Porch with WBOK 1230 a.m.
Welcome back, y'all. It's the Front Porch, WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about.
All day long.
I'm your host, Graylin Bryant Banks.
And I'm your host, Kimber White Dupree. Hey, y'all.
Brother Naira's on the other side of the glass, y'all. Bringing it to you right here on this Moving Monday. And speaking of which, I think we might have got a caller to give us a guess on the Moving Monday clip.
All righty.
What's up, Josh?
Yeah, well, apparently this Divine 9 Monday, not Moving Monday.
It could be. It could be that.
On the track.
It could be that.
Trying to get this thing back on track. Whether it's buzzed or whatnot, is the movie name Dazed and Confused.
Hold on.
Yeah,
dude.
You
got. I don't blame you for taking that, dude. You got a personal hand-mouthed buzzer.
Yeah,
that's pretty doggone good.
Good.
I had not seen that happen before.
His leg broken, and when you was gone, he was hitting that thing so hard. He may broken it now.
And it's weird that you didn't recognize the voice, although altered.
I'm thinking Matthew McConaughey is why I said that, but
no, it was completely the wrong
direction.
Yeah.
I nothing I can do about it.
Okay.
Nothing to do. At least you call.
I hope we can skip this one and go to the next clip, but apparently we don't got time today.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna have time today because we didn't get a correct answer.
We don't got time today
for this one. But it's all right though, bro. At least you call.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
You
At
took-
least
yeah,
you
you
called and
took
took
a
a shot
chance.
at it.
I try to keep it going, man.
We appreciate you, cousin.
No problem.
All right, brother. Take care. Yes, indeed. And I also want to acknowledge Wally, who typed in that he went down to Alabama to the 60th anniversary of Bloody Sunday.
Yes.
At the Edmund Pettus Bridge and marched across there, talked about it was a great and wonderful feeling to be there. And I kind of knew that because that's why the fit for the day is Representative John Lewis.
Yes.
Never be afraid to make some
Who,
noise.
if I'm not mistaken,
and
was
get
a
it
part
some-
of the D9 as well. If I'm
Was
not mistaken, I pulled up something to speak about how Black Greek letter organizations have impacted politics and gotten people into spaces without you even recognizing that they were at work collectively.
Okay.
Thurgood Marshall was a member of Alpha Phi Alpha. Locally, if you remember the Dutch Muriel, Ernest in Muriel was also a member of Alpha Phi Alpha. Of course, Reverend Jesse Jackson was a member of Omega Psi Phi. Ralph Aberney was a member of Kappa Alpha Psi. The current member of Congress that we all, the firecracker, we love her, Jasmine Crockett, is a member of Delta Sigma Theta. So Black Greeks, when people are talking about demonic,
don't give him
like
no
the weird,
juice.
like those weird, I believe John Lewis is. I thought he was a member of Phi Beta Sigma, but like when we're talking about like the ability and like the partnering and the access into rooms, not saying that other people don't have access into those rooms, but when we work collectively, it's for the good of our people. Oftentimes, of course, former Vice President Kamala Harris is also a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So, like, listen, we're all over everywhere and moving the needle for our people. And for when you see people talking crazy, I'm not asking you to engage into that, but I'm asking you not to buy into that, because oftentimes people from the outside speaking on people looking inward, it's a skewed view.
Yeah.
I want y'all to use that same lens when y'all see people with the tiki torches and the swastikas and with the aisle and all of those different things. Y'all don't question them and stop like being so ready to fight us who are in the fight for you. Jasmine Crockett says she had the ability to do some work even though she attended private school. But her work, she is trying to do work for the people of this country who need it most. So yeah, like later for that foolishness, I really been curtailing my words because I swear they be right on the tip, on the edge of my mouth. But yeah, it's a lot of the people that you don't know, who are within organizations who are moving things forward for us. Cam put in the chat that the late Sheila Jackson was also
Sheila Jackson Lee.
Yeah, Sheila Jackson Lee. She was also a member of the D9. We're doing stuff for the benefit because we know that there are organizations and people who are organized to do us harm.
But see, the only reason that we're talking about this is because just like most things, the tragedy of the matter propels you into the spotlight of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're talking, because the reason members of the D9 are doing stuff every day.
Yes.
Good stuff every day. And we don't talk, we probably would not have been talking about it, bereft of the incident that happened with the young man.
Right.
Right?
And the people who perpetuated that should go to jail.
And again, and I think that's going to happen. It's a tragedy all around. We make no excuse and offer no any kind of acceptance. Some understanding that this will be a tragedy that will be felt ripples across the board. And for everybody involved, we send them good vibes and thoughts. And because I don't think any of this was intentional. I don't think that anybody went in there and said, McKinley's little dude. I just don't think that was the case. It was a tragedy. It got out of hand. It happened. But it's a tragedy for a lot of people that are involved. And for the individuals out here who are, I guess what you were saying was jumping in and with an opinion. You're welcome to your opinion. And I would like to think that you all who follow those opinions also listen to me when I say be critical when you're listening. Be critical when you are hearing these persons and their opinions about things that are going on, because I would also caution you to say, well, what's your motive? And what are you trying to get from this? Are you trying to do anything to help? And where were you prior to this accident or this incident with this desire to help? It can't be taken seriously if you've on a platform after this one incident. If you've been serious about this, there should have been other times when you have said something. And if there's not, then give it the credence that it's due. Don't give it more than that. And, remember, people stupid.
And there's that.
It's the Front Porch, y'all. Thank you for giving us 3 hours out of your lives that you'll never get back. And we certainly hope we've given you a little bit of something in return for the investment of your time. I'm your host, Graylin Bryant Banks.
And I'm your host, Kimber White Dupree. Take care of yourselves and each other.
And we didn't get a answer to the Movie Monday question, which...
You think we've gotten too radical with our message? Well, I got news for you.
You got stumped.
Ain't nothing yet.
And
if you
don't
played
it twice. Now you know. You got stumped. But it's all right, y'all. Practice random acts of kindness. Do something nice for somebody just because it's a nice thing to do. Y'all take care of yourself. And we're going to see y'all on the flip.
Later, y'all.
Put your hands together. Come on.
Say no. Nobody else.
Come on.
It's just you, weirdo.